mode tournament right now,
Oh, nice.
and we're going against Snooby or Snooky, some guy with technical
Snooky.
geniuses.
It's Snooky. I've got no
Is it
idea.
Snooky?
I don't know. Our voices are live now, though.
All right, everybody, welcome to week 2 of season 9. Welcome, everybody. Tonight I am joined by our new league admin, Corkscrew. Corkscrew, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I was just kind of telling the guys pre-stream that I was just a little bit late. I had a lot of stuff going on, but just kind of a little shout out to my esports club. We have the UVU StarCraft team going against the University of San Diego in the Tesla Archon Collegiate Series right now. So that's getting live streamed on twitch.tv/StarCraft. Not that anyone should go over there, but if you want to like pull up 2 browsers and watch at the same time, you know, give them some love, shout out, tell them that I sent you. But yeah, anyways, welcome everybody to the stream. I'm still getting ready. But how has everybody been? Let's talk about the games that went on prior to tonight, the Thursday night games.
Thursday night. Let's see. I won.
You did. Who did you go against, Corkscrew?
I beat Jinx 2-0. He was playing a Dreadsteed deck, which was pretty sweet.
And tell the viewers at home how a Dreadsteed deck works.
It's all based around the Dreadsteed card, which is a mana 1/1 that basically resummons every time it dies.
Okay, so what cards do you build around that to make that a good deck?
Basically, I mean, you try to. I think one of the big ones is Baron Rivendare, so you get the Death Rattle to trigger multiple times and kind of fill up your board. So that's a big combo, and then Mal'Ganis to buff him to 3/3 and lots of healing.
Gotcha.
I don't know if we know exactly which cards make it a good deck, because it looks like he lost both of his games.
It was he played me in the first game, and he had Sacrificial Pact in there, and he played that. And if he didn't play that in the first game, I probably would have lost my second game because I would have slammed Araxis down and died instantly. So I got a little preview of what was in his deck.
Cool. But overall, what were your thoughts about the deck? Good deck?
Dreadsteed?
Yeah.
It's a fun deck.
Okay.
It's.
Is it one of those
think
decks
it's
that
like.
rely on other cards too much?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's on the verge of being competitive. It's not quite there, but
Gotcha.
it's a lot of fun to play.
Well, very good. It looks like we have just a Secret Paladin and
That could be.
Handlock?
Probably Reno Lock, but
Okay, yeah. I guess that has kind of anything Reno has kind of taken over the face of the meta right now.
yeah, I mean, with I guess the implosion kind of says it's Reno Lock, not Handlock.
Right.
It's like
That's cool.
pretty standard Secret Pally on Mountain Dew side.
Yeah, and he has a really, really strong start. You know, really good turn 3, especially with the double Secret Keeper.
That's pretty tough with getting those 2 Secret Keepers out with the Secret Plate is a pretty good start.
So now, in your opinion, do you feel like that was a misplay, playing the implosion on the 2/3 instead of the 2/2?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because I mean, at the very least, it's gonna hit 2.
I would say that he probably should have went for the 2 health one just in case, because especially the Secret Keeper, if he has another secret, he was thinking maybe with the Mortal Coil he would be able to get it the next turn. But with those Secret Keepers, they can just buff their health. So I probably would have went for the 2 health one.
Just kind of again, I'm not sure if it was a misplay or not, but those are just kind of things to keep in mind. We do teach the game a little bit here at Hearthside, you know, not all the time, but we tend to do some stuff. But those are some things that I notice is, you know, at the very least, you're going to get 2 damage from that implosion, so you're always going to try to at least in my mind, it's better to get that guaranteed to instead of hope that RNGesus comes down and favors you.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
And this is going to be a pretty big competitive spirit if it gets to be played. Need a Hellfire or something like that to carry the board.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the only action that Auguster has. I want to call him Elder Padawan because that's what he's been for the longest time. But last stream, I asked Bagels how he got his name, how he got his battle tag. So how did you get yours there, Corkscrew?
Mine is based off of my last name. It's Corkhill, and it's actually I have a freelance design business that's Corkscrew Design, so it's kind of just based off of that.
All right, very good, very good. That's a pretty epic last name, Corkhill.
Yeah, it's got kill in it and everything.
Yeah, I mean, well, very good. Now, sort of off topic, just a little bit. Did you get an Overwatch beta?
I did not.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Honestly, I don't really play too many video games other than Hearthstone.
Okay,
So,
that's fine. That's fine.
and I only have a Mac, so I think I would not be able to play it even if I did get one.
There's actually a guy in the esports club that he's a grandmaster on all 3 races for StarCraft, and he plays on a Mac.
Oh, nice.
So.
Yeah. I think.
Mac Master Race, I guess.
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding.
So it looks like Caesar just drew a Dreadsteed, so he is playing Dreadsteed. It might be a Reno variation, but yeah, we'll see about that.
And if it hits him, that Secret Keeper just.
That's actually probably one of the better outcomes for him.
Right, to play the big game hunter.
Yeah.
Because with a Secret Paladin, the only big hitter is Tyrion, but is Tyrion, he's 6'8", right? Or 6'6"?
6'6", yeah.
So he wouldn't even play his BGH, so that was good. Good play from him. Do you feel like the Twisting Nether would be the appropriate move here on turn 8?
Yeah, I think that's looking pretty good right now, because he doesn't obviously know Mountain Doomy's hand, but that's not looking good. But yeah, I mean, laying down the Dreadsteeds is fine too, because there's not too much damage on board.
Right.
Yeah. So just one Dreadsteed.
Hey, Corkscrew, have you played any other games, either video games or not video games, competitively before Hearthstone?
No, never. I mean, I played a lot of video games as a kid, but never competed in it.
So what was it that intrigued you? Sorry, Bagels. Bagels is also joining us tonight. You never know when he's going to be here or not.
Yeah, just occasional, yeah.
So
what was it that drew you to Hearthstone?
I mean, I played a lot of Magic when I was younger. Not competitively, but I played that in high school and friends. Just having another card game is probably, that's what made me like Hearthstone. And I've always liked Blizzard games, so.
All right. And so are you a fan of the new format that this competitive scene's going to?
Like Standard? Yeah, I think Standard's great. I'm really excited for it. I think it'll just help kind of stabilize the meta, at least, for the time being. They can design cards, knowing what's out there, not having to play around power creep and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's a really good move.
But you being a Magic player that kind of follows suit with Magic, with making older editions invalid.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so we also see the Riverdale. So is this just called a Dreadsteed Warlock? Are we gonna see the Reno Jackson?
I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen any duplicates in his deck, and it looks like he has Justicar, which is interesting.
Would the right answer be the Mal'Ganis?
Here,
See, like.
yeah, probably. I mean, it's gonna save him a turn, and
But what
yeah,
he
I think that's
yeah.
probably the right play. He's trying to just get those Dreadsteeds on board by killing them off with the
To build
Baron.
them, right? Yeah.
But yeah, I think Mal'Ganis would look pretty good right here. Hovering over Twisting Nether, which I don't. That.
Yeah, I don't know if that's quite the right answer.
Yeah, he's gonna play that.
If he did play Twisting Nether, would his Dreadsteeds summon their Death Rattle twice?
No, because it would kill Baron.
Ooh. See, you know what? I thought Mountain Doomy had the game, and I could be wrong. Like, the game could still go in his favor. He had a very, very strong beginning of the game. But it looks like this has turned in Auguster's favor here, which is
Yeah,
good
definitely.
for him. You know.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the Tyrion, but
It doesn't do a whole lot.
Mal'Ganis, I mean, and then as long as Caesar just needs healing, so if he can't get any healing, then having that I forgot Tyrion's weapon, whatever the 5/3 weapon,
The Ashbringer.
Ashbringer. There we go.
Which is what we found out on another stream is the only legendary weapon that there is. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But that's only because it spawns from a legendary champion. Yeah,
This just feels like a.
and these Dreadsteeds, yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
No, I was just gonna say this feels just like a weird patron deck.
No, it totally makes sense.
An expensive one, like it took 13 mana to get these two guys out, and then 4 to get that guy out. But ooh,
wow, I wasn't concede. I was not expecting it. But yeah, that board full of Dreadsteeds that just keep coming back. I mean, that's.
If he would have drew BGH, he would have won the game. But I don't know if he's probably not playing that in a Secret Paladin.
Because you're not really playing for the long game.
I will fight with honor. Let the hunt.
now, Captain Katie, you played some board games competitively back in the day, didn't you?
I did. I used to play Settlers of Catan competitively, which doesn't sound very fun, but or very competitive, but it's a really weird sense of competitive nature. But yeah, I used to play Catan competitively, and before that, I just played sports in high school.
Well met.
It wasn't really, I don't know. I just very recently accepted the fact that I was a closet nerd, that I enjoyed playing video games and whatnot. And actually, Gordon Hayward just released an article on Thursday, I believe it was, Friday or Thursday, kind of telling his experience with playing video games and playing sports and whatnot. But in his article that he released, he just said, I'm 100% unapologetic for being a gamer. And I
like that.
I posted it on my Facebook page about it, and I'm going to include it on my esports blog that I'm doing. But I mean, I'm with him by saying that, like, the people that think that video games isn't a thing anymore, like, just, I guess they don't understand where it's at, and how competitive it is, and whether that's to ignorance or naiveness or whatever you want to call it. But I mean, esports in the last, I don't know, 2-3 years have really been making waves as far as competitions and tournaments and whatnot goes. And then for people just to say that it's non-existent still is kind of funny. to me at least.
Yeah.
So, but what about you, Dan? Where did you get your start with video games?
I mean, I've always played video games back to like Descent, Destination Saturn, Commander Keen. You know, those games back before computers even had Windows on them, right? But I never had a console, so it was always computer games until recently.
See, I've always had a console. So I'm one of 6, so we've always had a console in our house growing up. But I mean, it was always like Mario Party and Mario Kart and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, see, I never played all those. So recently I've been playing with some emulators. RetroArch is a pretty cool emulator, and or an emulator manager, actually. Manages multiple emulators. And been downloading all those old games and trying them out, and they're a lot of fun. Yeah.
Have you gotten Contra yet?
No, I just played through GoldenEye though.
Okay.
But yeah.
I had a party with a few friends, and we busted out the GoldenEye on the 64, and
Nice.
it is a very different game than where the consoles are.
Yeah.
I mean, playing on an N64 controller
is horrible.
Oh, it's bad. Drew, do you have any experience with that?
Yeah, I mean, I played 64 quite a bit, and yeah, GoldenEye was definitely my game. So
Yeah.
those controllers are pretty bizarre.
Pretty
though.
gnarly, yeah. So is this an anything can happen deck up top here?
Yeah, it is.
It
and
looks
you can
like
see
it
you
with
got
with the Murlocs that
the
were
two
played
humilities, which are interesting. I don't know about running both, but I've definitely seen one of them ran. And then you can see on the bottom, Mountain Doomy's got a hungry crab teched in, which is interesting.
But it's funny because Mountain Doomy runs a hungry crab, and I'm not sure how many decks he runs it in, or if it's only on certain decks. But I've seen him play hungry crab fairly often in most of the tournaments that we hold.
Yeah.
And it might be more often now that the Murloc Paladin is so prevalent. But he's also running the Flare, which I guess is his call to action to the Secret Mage or the Secret Paladin now. And
Yeah, this is an interesting deck. He, I think the last Hearthside Events tournament beat me with it because Power Shot is just a card you don't normally see in Mid-Range Hunter, and then King Crush that's not drawn off a web spinner. So I was not
Right.
playing around those cards.
now, question for you, Bagels, as the brainchild of Hearthside Events. Will we in the future? Yeah, good precursor, right? In the future, will we be running standard format, or will it always be wildcard?
We're definitely gonna run.
Have you put third?
We're definitely gonna run standard. I really want to support the competitive scene, and Blizzard will only grant points to tournaments running standard.
Okay.
So yeah, we're definitely gonna run standard, but we like to have fun as well. So we'll probably do some wild, and we'd like to explore some other formats like the sealed deck. With the tool, yeah. So, but we definitely do. We'll definitely do standard.
Yeah, and we also talked about, and this was wild. I don't have to Twitch chat out before, we talked a while ago about doing, having like a seminar type of deal where, not a seminar. What's the word I'm thinking of?
Not genocide.
Not genocide, absolutely not. So a seminar, because I can't think of the other words, but
Talking about arena stuff.
no, a clinic.
Clinic.
Yeah. So running an arena, I have the 150 gold, I think, to run an arena. And
Okay.
I think it was Trivia Boy that said, hey, let's do it. And,
Let's do it. We should do it sometime.
okay. All right. I'm a little busy right now. My dad's in town. He was supposed to stream.
Oh yeah, he was gonna stream with us tonight.
He was. Just small caveat. UVU just went 3-0.
Congrats, UVU.
So they are now 3-0 in the tournament, which is really good. Bringing out that.
Is it like a double elim?
No, so it's just pool play.
Oh, okay.
From what I understand right now, I don't play Starcraft enough to actually follow this scene, but I had a bunch of kids come up to me and say, "Hey, we want to start a Starcraft team and compete these tournaments." I'm like, "Okay, do." And they've actually last week they played against BCU, which is British Columbia, and their League of Legends team has won the Collegiate League of Legends finals 2 years in a row. And so the fact that we beat their StarCraft team is, kind of a win for us, at least in our mind, to say, oh yeah. But anyways, small little caveats, there's little victories everywhere. And
yeah, that school that's good at something else? Well, we beat them at something that they're not good at, but they're good at something else. Just kidding. Yeah.
And we're trying to make a big push to get our school to recognize as a sport. What did I say? Oh, yeah. UBC. Thank you, Casanova. I got the right city of the school. I just got the wrong order of acronym. But anyways, so we're trying to get our school to recognize our teams as collegiate teams. So to have these things go in our favor is working to our advantage.
So the thing with this anything deck is it's just
back to the game.
Just trying to. There's so much healing in it that it's hard to do anything against it, and you can see that he Mountain Doomy probably feels like he should have been able to get lethal by now, but with healbots and lay on hand, healbots 2 lay on hand, it's just 2 humilities. So that Dr. Boom has gotten nothing. It's done nothing this whole game, so yeah. Tough for Mountain Doomy.
I wonder.
Yeah, and then with 2 of those anyfins, he's gonna be overrun, it looks like.
Yeah, he's only played 1 charge paladin or charge murloc, so I mean that's one of the big things with the anything deck is you really need to get the charging murlocs down to do a lot of damage. But that humility again is showing that it's doing a lot of work here.
He's probably saving the unleash for when all those minions drop.
Yeah,
or the murlocs. But
with 2 anything cards in hand, there's really not much Mountain Doomy can do. I mean, as long as he can stay alive to drop both of them, you can, depending on how many Murlocs down, you can, take a warrior down from 60 total health, in 2 turns.
Yeah, and we saw, just kind of as a side note, we mentioned at the beginning of the game the 2 humilities, and they both were used to very large advantages to Guster's favor.
Well, his hand is looking pretty bad with 2 Pyromancers in it.
Yeah, unfortunately, he has to either get the Pyromancers out first or just play the anything.
Yeah, that Pyromancer doesn't seem to be... I don't know, I wouldn't intuitively run that with a lot of Murlocs, because lots of Murlocs don't have very many health.
Yeah, it's meant to combo with Equality, so it's just like an instant board clear.
Like that.
Yeah, depending on his draw, he might just have to throw one of those anyfins down. Yeah, lay on hands seems like gain 8 health and draw into his other.
Good old Merc Eye.
Reporting for duty.
It was such a... That'll be really fins. Unfortunately, I don't think he'll be able to get it out.
So it looks like Mountain Doomy's got lethal next turn if he just can't answer this board.
I mean, yeah, he has lethal just with weapon and hero power alone.
Yeah. Huh. I was not expecting the Hunter to come through on this one, but it looks like he's too.
Do you like to play with fire?
Ooh.
Yeah. I forget
Yeah,
about
he
the
can't-
new,
there's
the
nothing
new
he can
cards that have
draw.
fallen under the piloted shredder.
Like you said, I mean, it's even with hero power and weapon, it's lethal. So
I don't know if he noticed that.
Well played.
yeah, probably not.
Well, the
He was hoping
victory
for the Doomsayer, I'm sure. There you go, Hungry Crab Hunter.
Malfurion versus Garrosh. Victory or death! I must protect the wild.
I don't really like Valentine's Day too much, but I made the mistake of asking if we should not do anything for Valentine's Day, and proceeded to not do anything, and that didn't work out too well. So I know I've learned my lesson. So yeah, I just think it's a nice gift.
Now, you were just recently married. This is your first Valentine's Day with your wife. Married, that's right.
I've been with my wife for about 7 years. It took us a long time to get married. So yeah, I got my degree at NAU, which is in Flagstaff.
Somebody's mic went muted.
Yeah, I just saw that.
I got it.
All right, thank you. All right, coming into game 3, tied up 1-1 with Seuss Auguster and Mountain Doomy. Great games so far, and super. I guess we're already on turn 3. I'm watching the stream and I'm 30 seconds behind. I apologize. We're on turn 4, everybody.
Looks like it's Patron against mid-range Druid, although we saw Mountain Doomy with the Zombie Chow in there, which is isn't too common right now with mid-range Druid, but
Okay. Now,
yeah.
is mid-range and ramp the same thing?
I think people kind of throw around the Druid build like they just call it a bunch of things.
It's just a Druid build.
Yeah, like combo Druid or mid-range Druid is, I refer to like the combo Druid as mid-range Druid. Usually ramp, I've always associated with like the super taunt heavy build without combo in it, but a lot of people still call the combo deck ramp Druid. So, but my guess is this has combo in it.
Yeah, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think most Druid decks function the best off of combos.
Yeah, for sure. Ramp Druid's fun. I've played quite a bit of it, but it's definitely not as powerful as the combo Druid. And, Patron is pretty favored in this matchup. It just depends on whether he can draw his patrons and whether or not they get answered. But yeah, and he's got a pretty good board built up, and that Frothing Berserker is going to get pretty large, although he does have the Keeper or VGH, depending on what he needs for it. So.
Right. And so, would you do Thurston this turn, or would you just play the Keeper and secret him right, or silence him now? How would you go about this?
It's kind of a interesting turn because if he doesn't kill the Frothing Berserker, it's just going to kill his Thorson. And a lot of times you want your Thorson to be able to get a lot of value. Oh, there you go. He's going to PGH the Frothing, which I think was a pretty good play, and then silence the Acolyte. I like that play. Thorson is really good when you can get a couple mana ticks off of your combo. He does have Savage Roar in hand, but if you can get like 2 Savage Roars and then get some reduction from Thorson, it's pretty good there. But Mountain Doomy's hand is not very good right now. Well, he's got the combo, so.
And just like that, that terrifying board from Augusta is gone.
Yeah. And I almost would have wanted to see Thorson played there. I know it would just die to Deathbite, but getting tempo with Druid is really important.
Right. And I think it's more important now that he has both Savage Roar and Force of Nature.
Yeah, I mean, you reduce it down to, 7? And then if you draw into another Savage Roar, you can do a double combo for 22 damage. But that Ancient of War is pretty big, so that'll be.
I can wait no longer.
Oh yeah, that Frothing's very scary now.
Yeah.
Do you feel that was the right move?
I mean, he really couldn't kill the Ancient of War. He didn't have any executes. So without sacrifice,
would it have been better to go Grommash into the Ancient of War?
His Frothing would have kept getting bigger. He was at 8.
Well, I guess not, because if he would have attacked the Keeper of the Groves, he would have been down to 1, so he wouldn't have been able to go any bigger anyways.
Yeah, so he wouldn't have been able to kill it.
But if he would have used this now.
Yeah, and if Mountain Doomy would have played that Thorson when he had a chance, he actually would have had lethal this turn. Because he had the Innervate and then double combo, so he would have been able to do 22 damage.
Well, he could have done it anyways, right, with his Innervate?
Oh,
no, it's not turn 10 yet.
No, he one less. He was missing 1 mana, I believe.
Yeah, it wasn't turn 10.
Ooh, the Recombobulator.
So what purpose does that serve in this deck?
Usually it's there to like hit an Azure Drake or an Ancient of Lore, because those are pretty high cost minions and their stats aren't that great. Their effects are really what makes the mana cost what it is.
Sure.
He's gonna drop a Patron on board without any activators. I don't really like that, but I suppose it sets up lethal. So that's probably a good play, I suppose. With the Lotheb down, there's really not too much that can...
I mean, Sylvanas, but I mean, that's not...
You might feel a little tingle.
It's not.
I I have no time for games.
That's not the best. I don't, in my opinion.
Too bad, but
There's definitely better 6 drops you could have gotten, right?
yeah, and I mean, I'm pretty sure if you hit a patron, it's still gonna spawn another patron.
Well played.
And yeah, the death fight is gonna take the game.
Just barely, yeah. That's wow. Good game. Good set of 3.
Yeah, that was really good. One thing with Druid that to play Druid really well, you have to know really when to be aggressive and when not to be. And I feel like Mountain Dew played it a little too conservatively.
So where do you think he missed that opportunity? What turn?
I mean, if he would have dropped that Emperor, he would have had lethal and won the game. So I think that probably, well, I don't know if I think turn 6 is probably where he lost the game at. I mean, it sucks to get your Emperor killed immediately by a death bite, but sometimes you got to do that.
Right. And yeah, it looks like Chad as well agrees that very conservative play for Mountain Dew. Way too slow of a game. So, but very good.
Nice. So it looks like Caesar Augustus is undefeated.
Look at that. And congrats to you, Corkscrew. I didn't see until right now that that you're legendary.
I am. I got it actually last Thursday, I believe. This is the quickest I've ever gotten it. So yeah.
And what deck?
I played Dragon Priest up to rank 5, and then
Okay.
kind of switched between Patron and Druid the rest of the way.
Okay. And then also congrats to Zuzupet, or just Zoo, I guess now. He is also at legendary. He's at 272. Not to rub it in.
He got it today. So congratulations. It's awesome. I'm pretty sure it's his first time getting it. So getting it so early in the season is pretty awesome as well.
Do you feel it's easier or harder to do it earlier in the season?
Well, I mean, it's for me, like it usually takes me an entire season and you get it right at the end. So like getting it early is just hard because, it takes a long time to get it. So,
right.
And oh yeah, Triviate Boy is not legend yet. So, both
quite.
me and Zoo have beat him to legend.
Because he usually gets there pretty quick.
Yeah, he's usually like 2 weeks in and he's got it. But he was on vacation and on a cruise, so that's probably the reason he's not legend right now.
That makes sense.
Okay,
That's
let's have Doomfist on bottom. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Looks like they are getting into a funny match, as Mountain Dew Me says. So we can set up spectating. Let me know you guys got all the cards set up. Okay, can you guys see everybody's cards?
I cannot see Zoo's card. Let me try him.
Oh, there we go.
It's okay, they're not very good.
Oh wait, never mind.
Just kidding.
I can see him now. So yep. And I know this is just a fun game, but that's the aggro paladin that Zoo's playing. He told me that is what got him to legend this month.
The aggro pally.
Yeah, that's not a deck you see too often on ladder right now.
It's usually those kind of decks that kind of throw people off and are harder to play against.
Yeah, I think what aggro paladin has for it is divine favor is pretty broken when you're playing against Reno locks and control decks. So it can just take games by card draw and then having a giant board built up, turn 4.
And Bagels, are you still favoring that pirate rogue over there?
Always, man. Always the pirate rogue and my face warrior.
Did you see the comments that I made in chat this week?
They probably made me cry.
No, so Tim reported his games and he won one of his games with Rogue, and so
Oh,
I just
yeah.
gave him a little applause and
Oh,
said,
yeah.
congrats for repping the Rogue still.
Yeah. Someone's got to, you know. There's not many of us that still play Rogue.
It looks like Zoo's playing Rogue right now.
He learned from he learned from Trooper Tim, so they've been theory crafting for the last week.
He's got the gadgets in there, so this is probably like, you know, the new Miracle type Rogue. But I know Zeus plays Mill Rogue a lot, but with that Tomb Pillager, it definitely looks like the Miracle Rogue. Doomfist has an interesting deck with Unstable Ghoul in it, and I saw Kodo Rider in his mulligan. My guess is it's probably a Reno Priest, just from the strange cards that we've seen so far.
And again, it goes back. I don't know that Doomfist ever plays any net decks.
Yeah,
I'm sure he does, but I think he tweaks them. But he plays very like, you're like, oh yeah, this is like a mid-range hunter, and then you're like, nope, this is definitely not mid-range hunter. Like running flares and a bunch of other weird stuff that you normally don't see. Like, yeah, it has the essence of a mid-range hunter, but there's a bunch of little Doomfist little tweaks and changes and bells and whistles that make it his own, which is really cool.
Yeah, he does. He comes up with some pretty cool decks, and he does pretty well with them too. So, and I am not very familiar with Rogue. I don't play it often, but I know that I think Zoo's deck is probably built, around Gadgetzin and drawing a bunch of cards and maybe getting into like a big Blade Flurry Tinker combo. But I know some of the Rogue decks aren't running Tinkers anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see.
So why is the Rogue deck? Because I'm not familiar with Rogues. I like to tease Bagels about his Pirate Rogue, and that's about all. And I know the Mill Rogue, but what is it that makes it the miracle? What makes it such a miracle to play?
It's the Gadgetzin Auctioneer. So that was one of the big decks in early Hearthstone, and it got nerfed. I don't remember what mana it used to be. Maybe 4 mana. So now it's a 6 mana 4/4, and it draws you a card whenever you cast a spell. And so Rogue has a lot of low cost spells and preparation, and so they use that to basically draw their entire deck and then just kill you. And so now they have Tomb Pillager, which gives you a coin as a death rattle, and so that's just a way to combo into your combo cards with Rogue, but also generate card draw from Gadgetzin.
Makes sense.
And he's got 2 Tomb Pillagers up, so that's going to give him 2 coins at some point. Plus, he's got Prep, Deadly Poison, Fan of Knives, so he's going to be able to draw a lot of cards coming up pretty soon.
Backstab as well, it looks like. He just drew that.
Yep, so that's basically a free card draw with Gadgetzin. And you can see Doomfist has a lot of AoE, which might come in handy at some point, but... Two Amber, and then Violet Creature.
I am ready to learn.
So we can clear the board. I don't know what the best way to do it is.
What's going through your head right now?
Just which AoE to use to clear the board. I mean, I think that's kind of what he has to do. But he does have his Unstable Ghoul, which will, do 1 damage to everything. So, good Light Bomb. But I kind of would like to save Light Bomb. Although, this isn't me not having much experience with Rogue. I think Rogue doesn't have too many Light Bomb targets, so maybe it's a good play to just do that right now.
So would you have rather seen the Excavated Evil?
Honestly, I don't think it really matters. I feel like the Excavated Evil would probably be the better play. He could have even, I believe he could have even cleared with Holy Nova, but that can be comboed, to get some card draw. So, and now you're going to see Z draw a lot of cards right now.
But this also puts you at the risk of fatigue, so you're hoping to do all this right to...
Yeah, he's just looking to get a lot of cards and find what he needs. Oh, okay, so he's playing Malagos, so he's, digging for his combos with Malagos. And he does have Eviscerate and Flurry. Shiv as well, so those can all, work with Malagos.
Right.
And that play by Doomfist, just entombing that is, right, because you got to get the gadgets off out of the way really quick.
Yeah, as soon as you can.
I wonder.
And he did see 1 Entomb, so that's pretty much, other than Shrinkmeister Cabal, his Malagos isn't in too much danger, although he probably doesn't want to drop it just because he's not sure if it's going to get entombed. He only had 7 mana also.
Yeah,
so that would probably be the
biggest.
The biggest reason he wouldn't be dropping the Malagos. But he does have Emperor, which it looks like he's going to drop.
And there's really nothing that Doomfist can do to kind of contest this Thurston.
No, not really, which, especially with the hand that Zoo has, it's pretty nasty.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we were referring to back in the last game of getting the most value from your Thurston. Depending on what kind of deck you're running. I feel sometimes if you can just get your Thurston out and get all of your cards done, if you have a full hand like Zoo does, and get all of them reduced by 1, I think that's a win. Even if it does get taken care of, but with the ramp druid or the combo druid last game, you really want to take advantage of the full 9 yards and get as many activations of Thursday as possible. But so Doomfist is rope, and so to me it seems like he's running out of options here. He might get away with not desperate. I don't want to say. I don't really want to use that word, but he's not. He doesn't have a lot of options, and he's kind of just taking what he can.
Yeah, and generally Thorson doesn't live past 1 turn, and so when he does, it's usually pretty hard to come back from.
Yeah.
Especially with the hand that Zoo has and Malagos in hand as well. So.
Right. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the auctioneer anymore.
Yeah, but he's got Eviscerate, Deadly Poison, Blade Flurry. So, he's probably got lethal next turn. Is my guess. I haven't counted his damage, but I'm pretty sure he probably has lethal next turn. Especially with that another tick of Thorson, he's going to get a free Blood Mage Thalnos for an extra spell damage.
And just like that, almost his whole hand is free.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So let's see, he's got
5, so 6, 20. He's got 24 damage just from Eviscerate. So,
Death does not scare
or sorry.
Yeah, so if-
wow, I did the math really wrong. I times it instead of just added to it.
Yeah, but he's gonna drop Malagos and
The
be able
pleasure is mine.
to kill him now. Especially with the Blade Flurry doing, let's see, was that 10 damage? The this rate doing 9.
Mistakes were made.
Oh,
For vengeance.
Oh, he missed 1 damage, but
be
yeah,
okay.
it's all right. And he's gonna BM a little bit.
Well,
Well, very cool. Very cool. Again, you don't see Rogue very often, but that was very cool combo to see.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool deck. It's if you get it to work right, it works really well.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of decks that rely on a bunch of other cards in order for them to get going.
Yeah, the big thing with that deck is you use the gadgets in to just draw a ton of cards, and so if you can get that down and get a lot of card draw off of it, you're gonna most likely draw.
Yeah,
the
I mean,
cards
he
in.
had that and one of his. Remind me of the other card that works well with this deck now.
Versus Malfurion.
From the new expansion.
Oh, Tomb Pillager.
Tomb Pillager. So yeah, so I mean, he had one of those, and the gadgets are,
Mm-hmm.
you know, opening.
He actually had two Tomb Pillagers, which got him 2 coins. So basically, yeah. So it looks like mid-range Druid, or mid-range Hunter. And I did see an Ancient of War in Zoo's deck, but my guess is fairly standard Druid build.
He's actually just playing one of those premium.
Oh, he's got Reno. So he is playing a Reno Druid, which this should be fun. He did say he was gonna probably play some fun decks tonight. So.
Which is good.
Ooh, Acid Maw. That's not a great card to draw off your
Yeah.
spider.
What do you want to see from your web spinner?
A Savannah Highmane, I'm sure, is always nice. Something on curve, that's nice as well. I don't play too much Hunter, so I don't know, but I'm guessing Savannah Highmane is probably one of the best cards.
Right. And I mean, I think that's one of the strong, if not the strongest card in the mid-range Hunter is that Savannah Highmane.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That and Dr. Boom. But we will soon no longer see Sir Booms a lot.
Which I don't think is a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, it just...
I'll be happy to see him go.
Right, I mean, it just opens up the door for other cards like that, you know? Who knows, we'll see cards stronger than Dr. Boom that have more or less the same mechanic. But instead of, boom bots, they're imps that explode or just... I don't know, maybe I should tweet Ben Brode and let him know what's going on. Listen, man, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make one, have these imps just do 1 damage to everyone.
I mean, and Captain's Fairy, he is not getting lucky with his RNG right now.
No.
One of the worst things about Boom is the variance in like the Boombot damage.
Oh yeah.
And so I feel like it's kind of a big problem with it.
Where shall I strike?
Which makes the card. I don't know if I want to say that much more playable, but it's not as broken as it could be. You know, like if those boombots were doing solid 4 damage out every single time, and it was just a matter of where that damage was falling, like that would be an issue.
Yeah, for sure.
But the fact that they have that variance, I don't think it's that big of I think that's why it's so popular and whatnot, because you have this really strong 7/7, but you also have these 1/1 dinky guys that maybe do 4 damage if you're lucky, and maybe it goes face when you absolutely need it to. So maybe.
Most likely, usually they don't do what you want them to do.
Absolutely not. I don't think any RNG cards do 2-1 anytime. I know I was watching a pro game when he had double knife jugglers and he had played Unleash the Hounds. And the opponent only had like 2 life left, and none of the daggers.
Oh man.
And he had
That's
2
pretty
jugglers
horrible.
out and got like 4 hounds. So, I mean, 8 damage altogether, and none of it went face. And yeah.
Wow. So it looks like Doomfist has double flare, which is not going to be very helpful in this match. I suppose you can look at it as just bad card draw, but
Right. But again, going back to Doomfist kind of off meta decks, is he's been running Flare before the Secret Paladin. And maybe he was afraid of the Secret Mage or Secret Hunter. I'm not quite sure, but he was running at least 1 Flare in his Mage Hunter deck.
So you play that Acid Maw, that swipe with the Acid Maw clear board, which is unfortunate. Well, does it kill Acid Maw? No, whenever another minion takes damage. So, but I mean, he could swipe.
Yeah, I think Acid Maw, like, I think it's a good body on the board. Especially if you're just going face now, like, I think it might do okay with Face Hunter. But I think it's one of those cards like Legendary Cho, or Cho,
Oh yeah,
Lore Walker,
Lore
where it's
Walker.
just like you have to play around it. And so you either have to get rid of it really quick, or you just have to deal with this useless body on the board, and then also give your opponent a spell.
Yeah, and I like what Zoo did there by just hero powering, and he's using the Acid Maw to his advantage right now.
Right.
Although this Knife Juggler could kill his Shade, so.
Put this apple on your head.
The Acid Maw. And he got it.
Oh.
I guess he would have got it without the Acid Maw.
See, I say, again, this is just me, but I say you go Acid Maw into the Darnassus Aspirant. Get rid of it.
I would probably have done that as well. I mean, he doesn't know that he has the swipe in hand, which
Well
kill his
played.
board, basically. Although if he swipes it, is it going to kill it first?
We'll find out in a second.
No, okay. I wasn't sure how that interacted, but
Yeah, it's always interesting. It's one of those things like, I wonder what would happen. And then you have to like go into a practice game, and then it takes forever just for you to draw the cards in order to get the combo to go
Yeah.
off and to find out if it actually works or not. And
yeah. So he's going to have a 5-mana Ragnaros next turn, because Doomfist will not be able to deal with this Naga Sea Witch. I suppose he could maybe flare into Hunter's Mark.
I mean, it could be worse, but yeah, this 5-drop Ragnaros is.
Yeah. He does have that Nourish if you want. He just drew that, so he could draw a couple more cards.
Unfortunately, he's not able to run the Force of Nature and Savage Roar combo, the double Savage Roar, because of cards equal 10.
Yeah, he's probably only running one set of the Pounder, just because he's playing right now. Yeah. Ooh, and it hit the Jaime.
Yeah, Doomfist is just not.
Oh, there's a Hunter's Mark.
There.
So actually, that's gonna let him kill Ragnaros, which is pretty nice.
Right. I was gonna say before that card was drawn, just Doomfist was just not very lucky with his RNG.
He's still pretty far behind though. He has no cards. And I don't know why he's holding that flare. I suppose maybe to deal with the shade and stealth. I probably would have just cycled the card.
Yeah, because I don't think he knows that this is a Reno Jackson deck.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I never suspect a Reno Jackson Druid,
Oh,
but
Wrangler. This is also a fun fight.
so it didn't get charge, which is unfortunate. That is a joust card that it can have charge if it wins the joust.
But I mean, it's a 5/3 body. I mean, that's taking care of the Sledge Belcher
I wonder.
eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like he's getting, Zoo's getting trigger finger. We can see it on our board, but he's hovering over that Force of Nature pretty quick. So
Yeah, and he's also if Doomfist does not kill any of his own minions, Zoo's got the MC tech that'll kill something from him.
right. But I don't know if he must have known that it was in his hand. Killing off one of his own.
I mean, MC tech has become fairly standard in Druid right now, so he could just be playing around it. I have one of them in my Druid deck. Some people run two as well.
What to do?
But I wouldn't expect more than one just because
I
this
must
is
safeguard
a
them.
Reno Jackson.
Oh yeah, well
You can have duplicates, but it's a lot easier if you don't.
yeah, well an MC tech wouldn't be one of those duplicates you'd want if you did.
Right.
But on Doomfist's perspective, other than the Naga Sea Lich, there's really nothing telling him that it's a Reno deck.
Right.
So now he's finally using that flare. I'm not sure why he didn't use that sooner, but I'm sure he had his reasons.
But I mean, going back, was there anything that he drew in the last 2 turns that would have benefited him 2 or 3 turns ago that we've seen though,
Yeah, probably not. I mean, I suppose if he would have got this mad scientist sooner, I don't know what secrets he's playing, but explosive trap might help quite a bit here.
It's also fun playing like Mad Scientist as a bluff, like, ooh, be careful, I got a ton of secrets still left in my deck, and you've already played both of your explosive traps.
Yeah.
I dare you to do it. But we'll see what happens.
It looks like Zoo's gonna have lethal this next turn. He's got 6 damage from Force of Nature, and he just has to get through a spider. Although, what is the trap? Snake trap, yeah. So he's gonna take the game on the next turn.
Job done.
I personally think they're just useless spiders on the board, but that's just me.
Well played.
They can be good, and combo the knife juggler. Okay, so he's gonna show him that he's got Reno in his deck. And then... Although he missed lethal,
Natural mistake.
but I'm sure he will be able to compensate for that over the next turn. Wow, he stole.
Sorry about
That was the best one he could have stolen. So.
that. I see.
And yeah, Doomfist can concede. So a 2-0 over to Zoo. Very good games tonight, I thought, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoyed him. Fun decks
but
too.
yeah.
We got to see Dreadsteed, Reno Druid,
Yeah.
Malagos Rogue. So yeah, a lot of good
Ghost
decks.
Rogue. Yeah, the new Miracle Rogue.
Yep.
So no, I thought the decks are cool. The games were really good tonight. I don't. Maybe this last set, I don't think there was any games that were like, oh yeah, that's completely in favor of the other person. I think it was fairly back and forth for most of the games that we saw tonight. So
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone played well too, and yeah, good games all around.
yeah, and congrats to you, and congrats to me. I took your casting virginity tonight.
You did.
As
Thank you.
not trying to be dirty or mind in the gutter, but that was the best analogy that I had. So.
Well, you were the only person that I would have wanted to take it.
Oh,
Thank you
wow.
very much.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. But no, it's not bad, right? A lot of people
No,
think
no,
it's
it's
like
not.
really scary and really hard to do and whatnot. But again, we were very lax here at Hearthside. I don't really expect a whole lot from anybody.
Well,
I think this tonight I asked more questions about game mechanics than I've asked in a really long time. So that was cool for me, and maybe that benefited some of our more less experienced viewers or those that are just trying to get better at the game. So
definitely.
Elder Padawan wants to know if I was gentle.
Yes, very, very, very gentle.
What was it weird that I was always just kind of hovering?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was. I completely
in the
forgot about that
background.
until you said something. So
Lurking.
Just occasionally throwing in my 2 cents about how it should happen.
he was taking notes, just sitting in the corner, breathing heavily.
Well, what I actually do is I change the camera angles and shots and stuff like that. So
Well, when you put it that way, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But thanks, Corkscrew. Thanks, Bagels. Thanks for our players tonight. Corkscrew, I'm gonna let you sign off. I don't let anyone sign off, but I'm gonna let you sign off as the new league admin, the new head honcho over here at Hearthside. I'm not gonna give you any
How
coaching.
do
I'm
I
just
sign
gonna.
off?
You just say thanks, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.
Boom. Done.
Sweet,
Yeah.
and yeah, I look forward to playing some games, and hopefully I'll get streamed at some point. And yeah, it was
Cool.
great. Thank you for having me.
No, thanks. Thanks for all you do, and thanks for hopping on tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Take it easy.